Welcome back to Switch to Linux. So today what we're going to do is have a quick look at ArchLabs. This is just a first impression, just a reminder if you haven't watched a lot of my distro videos. I do a lot of first impressions which are different than distro reviews. A first impression is when I take up a distro I've never looked at before, or maybe an update to one I have seen before, and I'll go through, I'll install it, not spend a lot of time on it, and then talk about what I see. The reason I do this is I want to provide some feedback. Oftentimes the people who develop these do watch my videos and get some good feedback, because one of the things I focus on is what are those little obvious things that a experienced computer user who hasn't used your distro is looking for. And that's actually important information because you might miss something very critical. And in that respect, that's why I like the first impression videos, because they really do give me a lot of information, but they also gives me some experience on different distros I wouldn't ordinarily use. You know, I use Cinnamon for most of my production environments. I use KDE for most of my media environments. But with that being said, we're going to have a look at, I always look at a variety of different distros, but today we're going to have a look at ArchLabs. And I chose to look at ArchLabs because just this week they did release another version, and this is Minimo is their version. So if you're unfamiliar with ArchLabs, this is essentially an Arch-based system that was deeply inspired by BunsenLabs, which of course is a Debian system that is based on or with the OpenBox desktop environment. And this, in this case, ArchLabs is simply the same thing, only it's based on Arch instead of Debian. And so you have a basic graphical installer with running Arch as the core, with OpenBox as your desktop environment. And I was very impressed with the, now when I first booted up as an ISO image just to look at it, I wasn't all that impressed. But when I actually installed it into the virtual machine, they brought a lot into the customization. You had a good 5 minutes worth of things. Do you want this program or that program? Would you like to remove this? Do that. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. The downside from the initial perspective here is that there is virtually no help for this group has absolutely no help anywhere on their website. It uses OpenBox, which if you are unfamiliar with the OpenBox is, I mean, I haven't used it extensively. I've done a quick view of BunsenLabs a few weeks ago. This essentially is going to be the second time I look at OpenBox. There's a lot of configuration that you do just by editing raw files. So it's extremely powerful in what you can do with it, but it's not an easy system to use. They don't have any help documents for how to do anything in the distro that I found looking at their whole website. So that is a huge downside, is that if I want to install this and I'm just kind of new to this system, I have to look elsewhere for help. They don't even link me to, there are actually some good Arch OpenBox wikis out there. I didn't even see those linked anywhere. I just found those by doing a separate search on Start Page. But you can come over here into the blog. You can see that it was, looks like it was late last week, or is that early this week? Sunday, it looks like. So it's just a couple days ago is when this new version came out. And I know people have asked me to look at ArchLabs in the past. I have not done so yet. And so I thought it'd be a good time to go ahead and do that, being as that it's new. Come over here and get the download link. It is, what is it, about how big is the download? I think it's like 1.1, no, it's not even that. 953 megabytes. So it's a pretty small download. So it's not too bad, which is good, and it comes with a minimal amount of software by default. But you go into your help screen when you first install it. There's an install script that runs, and that will actually enable you to install a lot of the software. And of course, there's a few different ways that you can install some other software. So we're going to go ahead and have a look at that. So here's the team. You can come over here, and their archlabsblog.wordpress.com is where their URL is. All right, so let's go ahead and have a look at the system itself. And I did a little bit of customization to the system, just an FYI. I got to move my picture. I'll go there. All right, there we are. Okay, I want to go right above their little ArchLabs information over here. Now, the thing that I installed is I installed the Cairo dock. Now, this was an option inside of your install script. Would you like a dock? And then you had the Cairo dock, which I've used on Debian, and this is actually the thing that really made me say, I kind of like docks. In fact, I'm thinking about putting a dock on this computer. But I wanted to install a dock just because the OpenBox environment is a very interesting environment, but it has essentially nothing. The only menu is when you right-click, and one of the things that you may not recognize right away is they do have, this is essentially more like a quick menu. I don't know if there's a specific name for this. Like I said, I've not read all the documentation. I'm just looking at what a new user would see and experience. So here's, of course, my folders. Any recent files, preferences, and things. Now, if you come down and hit Switch Menu, now you have a bigger menu which actually has more of the things you might be looking for. So these are actually all your apps. Now, walking through this, I'll walk through here and tell you what I installed. I installed disks. These all came on the startup script. I did not come in here and install any packages. I installed disks. I had the option of the file managers, and I chose, you had Nautilus, Thumar, and I forget what the other one is. I picked the default. On most things, I just picked the default, unless I had, like, if they had Nemo as an option, I would have picked it, because I love Nemo. I'm not married to Nautilus. Thumar's good enough, so go ahead and do that. Let's see, the terminal, you get a chance to pick the terminal that you want, and then you can install multiple terminals as well. I installed Genie, I think it's Genie is pronounced. I forget how this one's pronounced, but I installed this, out of, Atom was another choice to install. There's a few options that I can install. Under Education, I installed LibreOffice, the whole suite. I had GIMP installed. I could choose GIMP, Inkscape, another one, I don't remember what it was, or all of them. I couldn't pick two of them right out of the gate, but that's okay. I'll show you how to install software other places. Looks like Inkscape is also installed. That was an option to install, but I did not specifically choose to install it. Multimedia, I took, is it Rhythmbox, I think was the default? No, that doesn't sound right. Something else with the default media box. I forget what it was, which I wasn't familiar with it, but I have used Clementine on my OpenSUSE, so I went ahead and installed Clementine because I do like that media box. I installed Kdenlive. I installed Simple Screen Recorder. I installed VLC. That you had the option of web browsers, Firefox, Chromium. I didn't even look at what the other two were. I'm sorry, I should have. And I did actually have the option as well to install Evolution or Thunderbird or other ones. So I installed Evolution. You can see I got the whole LibreOffice suite here. And then there's a variety of other odd items here that you can get as well. And of course, I installed the Cairo dock as well. So here, I went ahead and themed this. This is not the initial Cairo dock theme, of course. This is, I forget which one this is called, but come over here into your configure menu, and whoa! I did something. Oh, you know what? The cat did something. The cat unplugged my monitor. You! This guy right here. Like, I went up there and clicked on that right at the cat knocked the power cord out for the monitor. You do not want people to see this distro, do you? What do you have against Arch? I think the kitty's against Arch. Okay. Well, anyway. So, let's see. This one is... It's not country. I think it's clear. Yeah, I think this is the clear dock. Which is pretty cool. I'm sure why it has a rating of 1. It's pretty cool. It has the clocks over here. Is pretty nice. It does do something really annoying in that it puts this shortcut to the folders right over the dock. That is kind of stupid. But regardless, that's what they do. The other things on this desktop is up here at the top. These here are different window managers. is what they are. And so initially I looked at going, I have no idea what those are, just because I don't really use multiple desktops. But they're all different window managers. And of course they have your home screen. This one here is supposed to be your web one. This one here for files, I guess. This one here editing, I don't know. Your logout button is over here. And then on this side we have our clock. We have our internet, things like that. Now, this guy over here, this is Termite. This is actually pretty cool. So this is just a really quick system where you can come in and just enter a number here from the screen and go ahead and run updates. So it says, the system's up to date already. So if you want to install a package, just come up there. And then if you know what you're looking for, you can just kind of start by typing in what it is. And then you can just use your arrow key to come down. So here's Chromium, which I could install, but actually Chromium takes a while to install. So let's see what else is up here. You know, I like Bluefish. Let's see if Bluefish is on here. There you go, Bluefish. So go ahead and install Bluefish. That shouldn't take as long to install as Chrome, I think. Yep, there we go. And so now I should be able to right-click somewhere and find Bluefish in my system here. Is it under Office? No idea where Bluefish goes. Shouldn't be Development. Hello. It should be Development. I'm not seeing Bluefish show up anywhere. Okay, there is another software manager. Let's see if I can find that one. Still wondering where that Bluefish editor should be. Should usually show up under Developer. Okay, so over here is an add remove software. So this is a little bit more GUI if you're looking for something like this. So if I come into development, you can see Bluefish is indeed installed. Let's see. No, that doesn't get me a terminal. Let's get a terminal going. Okay, well, it loads. What are those warnings? No. That's why I hate using different workspaces. I throw things on the side of the screen a lot. I don't want to switch to a different workspace. There's a setting you can turn that off. Okay, good enough. So anyway, Bluefish is installed. I'm not sure why it's not appearing on my menu. I'm wondering if it'll show up if I log out and log back in. But let's see. So let's see the other options inside of Termite here. So you can see you can update, you can clean a system, you can remove packages, install packages, get package information, dependencies, defragment database, downgrade packages, fixing errors, force installs. So you can see there's a lot of different things that you can do inside of the Termite system, which is actually pretty cool. I really like the Termite system. It's a pretty cool option. All right, let's see. It's evolution. Let's go into our. There's OpenBox, compositors. So if you want to choose a different wallpaper, you can pick your wallpapers like this. So this is one of the ones that they give you. It's a pretty cool wallpaper. I like that. We got these ones. One of the things I don't like about this desktop environment is you do have to come down and you have to hit the apply button to test things out. That's just a little, yeah, whatever. And then also, let's see. So menu configuration, that will tell you where your menu stuff is. Hopefully I don't have to manually add Bluefish editor. That would actually be a little annoying. I'm going to probably go with what if I log out and log back in, it'll probably give me. In fact, let me just go ahead and see if I can. I'm guessing that's log out. I don't know. I don't know what all these buttons mean. Looks like it is not adding stuff to the menu. So I went up and used Termite. I added Bluefish editor, and it's not adding that to the menu. Let's go ahead and switch menus around. Well, let's go down and have a look at your appearance. So this guy here is where you can change your coloration. So I'm going to remember little GT key master, because I actually like that one. So here's what your options are. Kind of like the one that we started with. So we're going to do that. Here's your icons. We have a variety of different icons we can pick from. You will notice that the Cairo dock does use its own icons. It does not use the system icons. You can set it to use the system, but by default it uses its own icons. Okay, just go ahead and let's go ahead and do it with Oxygen. Here's your fonts. There were other font packs that you could install. I chose not to install them, but there's a few different font packs that you can install if you want to customize your fonts even more. Something that a lot of people don't realize you can really do is you can really change all of the fonts around. That's something that is really nice and unique to Linux. You used to be able to do this kind of stuff with Windows too, but not anymore. Which, there's sometimes it gives you a few errors if you have a bad font up there, but that's okay. So there is some of your appearances, and there should also be a I gotta find it again. It's a package manager. There should also be a large settings panel as well. I found it once. Let's see if I can find it again. That's one of the reasons I'm not a huge fan of the OpenBox system. A lot of this, I'm sure, is I'm just not used to it. Just remember that I'm going through and using a system I haven't used a lot. But I did encounter a full... I'm driving somebody crazy who knows exactly where this is, what I'm looking for. They're screaming at the screen right now, but it's over here, it's over here. Okay, there it is, Settings Manager. All right, so over here is, you have a little bit more of an option. I don't seem to have a way to go back though, and that was kind of one of those annoyances with this system is that see, I don't even remember where I encountered it again. Is it Settings? Settings Manager. I'd like there to be an option to go back once I click in on one of these. So this one's good. It gives me a different pop-up. So here I can do some deep customizations to a lot of the different systems. So that's good. Okay. Here's your preferred applications. There we go. Maybe it's the all settings button. I missed it the first time around, so it does exist. It's just I'm always looking for it up here because most of the places I've used have done that. So here's where I can adjust my display settings, mouse touchpad. Here's some add remove software. Gives us back our GUI software installer, software updater, and settings editor. Okay. So those are the various options and settings that we have inside of here. Obviously, it uses the Arch-based system instead of the Debian systems that I'm used to, but I kind of like this. It's pretty fast. In fact, I did specifically install a system manager or a system monitor. Let's go ahead and see what we're running at here. I installed it just so we can look at this. All right, so it looks like I'm running on about 600 megabytes of memory, and it probably runs a little bit less if you have, if you're not running a Cairo dock or having a Cairo dock that's not quite as nice and animated as this one is. But regardless, that is ArchLabs. This is an interesting desktop that I'm wondering if maybe I should. I hate Ubuntu since they did away with Unity. I'm wondering if maybe I should run this for a few weeks right over here instead of running Ubuntu, which you can clearly see I'm not running today. The only challenge is I installed Android Studio on that for the cell phone development stuff I'm working on right now. So I got to move Android Studio if I'm going to not use Ubuntu. But regardless, this is ArchLabs, and this is the new version of ArchLabs. You can go check it out. I'll put some more links down there in the description below, but it is a pretty cool system. I like this. I think that with a dock installed on here, I could probably make do with this. You know what? That's a good question. Where's my Where's my cool box? My cool box has vanished. Oh well. Let's go ahead and let's get back to our installing software. I want to see if I can install a lot of the software that I kind of want to install. So, okay, so Kodi is available to install. I wonder if Skype is available to install. Yes, I am still using Skype for business stuff. I am still looking into alternative replacements, but I haven't gotten there yet. VLC's already installed. Firefox. Let's see if Midori is available. So Midori is available. I need to have at least 3 web browsers on any given system. One for general use, one for a few different YouTube accounts. So. You know, that's actually about it, obviously. There's a few other ones that I've been doing. So Sigil is on there. Calibri's probably on here. So it looks like every software package I probably am going to need is certainly available. So I think that in this case, let's see if ADB is on here. Looking for Android debug bridge. That's what I need to do for some of the cell phone development I'm doing. I'm sure it's here somewhere. There, Handbrake. That's another one that I sometimes use. So it looks like it does have all of the packages. It did give me the option to install OBS, so that is another package I would otherwise use. So that's good. So I don't know. I'm thinking this might be a distro I play with a little bit. Maybe look around and do a little bit more research on it and see what else I can do. Like, I like that clock widget. I want to see if I can do more cool clock widgets like that, which I'm pretty sure you can do. So I'm pretty sure that these are, it's basically like a Cairo dock. Let's see, what else can I do to this thing? So there's a bottom dock. There's a couple bottom docks over here. There's a clock. Okay. I'll have to see what other desklets are available, I guess. So the desklets are kind of determined, do I want to run this or not? Get some fancy stuff going up on my desktop. All right, well, this is ArchLabs. I think I'm going to stop droning on now, and we'll go on down. This is a pretty cool distro, so if you do, if you are looking for something a little bit different, then that's certainly a good one that you can certainly look into doing. And so thanks for watching, and if you want to help support what we're doing, you can go to switchtolinux.com/support to see the current ways to support us. As of right now, we have a Patreon page at patreon.com/TomM. Just an FYI that pretty soon I will be doing a new book in my Christian genre, and any of the patrons will get a copy of definitely the ebook, and I'm still looking into the cost of doing a published book for everybody, which I think I can probably pull off, but we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So you can go check out that at Patreon. There will also be Amazon links down below. If you want to shop on Amazon, then go ahead and check those out, and there's an affiliate link down below if you want to send a portion of that sale to Switch to Linux. So thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.